everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. A great day. Today, well, this is going to be a very interesting video because I'd be lying to you if I said I never expected to make it, because to be honest with you, as many of you know, we have such crazy cars coming that are in the works right now. They're coming in the near future, and I am so pumped up about them, especially when it comes to this car right here to my left, the C8 Corvette, because this platform as is, it's been unreal the entire time of ownership. I've had this car for a little over a year now, and I put over 20,000 miles on it. I mean, it has been bulletproof, 100%. It has blown me away. So many people were saying, don't buy a first-year mid-engine Corvette because, as you know, with first years of anything, you can have issues. But not this car right behind us. Can you believe it's almost been 2 years since the first reveal of the mid-engine Corvette? So long have people hyping about this car, especially like C7 owners, C6 owners, all the way back to the original Corvette, because Zora, as you know, he always wanted to make a mid-engine Corvette. And flash forward all these years, decades and decades, we finally have it. And time has been flying by. It's already been 2 years. You know what? I wonder if they're going to announce the new car on the 2-year anniversary of the first reveal. You never know, right? You never know. Anyways, though, I'm still in shock with the entire thing. And getting this car has been one incredible adventure, chasing across the country, going to SEMA and seeing it there, and then finally getting and flying all the way out to Kentucky, aka the National Corvette Museum, and taking delivery basically across the street from the actual factory, the plant where they build these cars. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that I'll never forget, especially the people I got to meet. Not just that, the specialist who gave me the tour of the car and who was my delivery experience partner during the entire thing, he was so awesome. I mean, that has to be the most detailed and just amazing car delivery I've ever had, because the amount of things he showed me with this car, it blew me away. Because right away, imagine going to the actual Corvette museum to pick up your new C8 Corvette, and then having someone that knowledgeable show you the ins and outs of every single feature of this car, and picking up the car from there and going across the entire country. So many people were just in shock with this new car. I can't even tell you the amount of experiences I had. Pull up to the gas station or just get something to eat at a fast food place, and I'm getting swarmed with people because they love the car. And so many individuals were saying, is that a Ferrari? What is that? No, it's a Corvette. They just, their jaws drop. They don't know what to say. So from there, I mean, we did everything with this car. I drove it all the way across the country. We found our own drag strip. We did our first ever quarter mile in like 0 to 60 tests. We gave rides. We even went to extremely scenic places like Pikes Peak. And there's one morning that I think I'll always remember, south of, I think it was Colorado, and it was the middle of the desert. It was really cold outside, so it was like 30 degrees out, I believe, and I'm just driving miles and miles, hundreds of miles through the middle of nowhere, and seeing the distance a volcano with the sun going up, and then seeing wild animals, horses, deer, everything out there. It was a morning that was just surreal. And going from there all the way up north even more to Pikes Peak, when it was covered in the snow, it's something straight out of a movie to me, you know? I'm a major fan of that one movie, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and it really reminded me of it. Just the adventure is what I live for. And going up Pikes Peak in the middle of the snow, it was just something that I'll never forget. Going from there and also to the National Crater, testing this car out, right? 0 to 60 right away on the freeway, middle of nowhere with all my luggage in the car and also our cameraman. We were getting, I believe, 2.8 seconds 0 to 60. So then later on, we got 2.7, then 2.6. Imagine hitting 2.6 for your 0 to 60 time in the car. within your first week of ownership. What kind of reaction would you have to that? It blew me away. This was a Corvette. This is a car that started at $59,000. This was really the first mid-engine high-performance vehicle that is affordable in the sense of when you compare to everything else out there, like McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. It costs a third of the price, if not much less. Starting price, $59,000. You can have a mid-engine car that looks just like a Ferrari. Going across the country, meeting so many amazing people, sharing the journey, sharing the experiences, in learning this car along with all of you guys, it was something that was beyond fun. I think we're the first channel that actually showed you how to do a proper 0 to 60. So many people out there were getting this car in drag racing and they didn't know what they were doing when it comes to launching the car. And then I saw that, I'm all like, you know what? At the National Corvette Museum, we were taught how to put on launch control. So you know what? Let me show that to all of you. I started seeing more and more videos out there. It was so cool. Once you do the proper sequence of steps, it gets unlocked and the car comes alive. It launches like an all-wheel drive vehicle. You wouldn't believe how well it launches. It launches just as good as my McLaren, I think. Regardless, so moving on, there was one thing I really wanted to do, because deep down, I'm a track enthusiast. I love going to the racetrack and pushing a car to its limits. And with that in mind, having all the track cars that I had, that being I bought the 2020 GT500 just before this car, and then I had the R, and I love tracking those two cars. So going to a naturally aspirated pushrod V8 with 495 horsepower and Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires in a DCT, I was really excited to find out how it would feel, because so many reviews out there, I was seeing them say, it's not that good on track. It's a marginal improvement over the C7, or it has catastrophic understeer, this and that. I wanted to find out. So right away, I took this car to Willow Springs Raceway. And my first event out, I was learning the car. That's why you probably saw me slide around a lot and just get a good feel for how progressive it was. If there was any lift-off oversteer, if the car had a natural neutral tendency when it comes to rotating into a corner. And in general, I was really impressed. But there's one thing that I needed to do, was put on our compound tires, because if you track any car, you know that you want track tires, because right away, some of those moments when I'm fighting the wheel, I knew our compounds would make the entire experience much more exciting, because we'd have much more grip. I think this was the first Corvette on Cub 2s, and then from there, we also had the track alignment put on, and it transformed the car. We're out there fighting it out with Porsches, GT3s, GT3 RSs, everything. In general, since then, we kept tracking this car, going everywhere across the country. Laguna Seca, my first ever time going to Laguna Seca with the C8 Corvette, and it just came alive out there. This car does so well, especially on the corner exit phase, because being mid-engine, you got to realize all that increased weight right behind you, it pays so much on the racetrack, because when you're getting on throttle, instead of having a front engine vehicle where the tail end gets pretty light, jumping into this car, you always have that extra weight behind you. So getting on throttle, it's hooked. It's got so much grip, especially when it comes to rotating each corner. The tail end just feels so much more solid to me. And it's begging for more horsepower. Right away though, if you do buy a C8 Corvette and you want the most balanced experience possible, I think the Stingray is just such an incredible car, because the 495 horsepower with it and the torque, it's just the right balance, because the 305s out back make putting down that power seamless. It's so easy, especially in race mode, where it allows you to have a good slip angle and to get some good rotations in each corner. The car loves it. It's one of those vehicles where, even though it's not designed from the beginning to be the most track-focused Corvette you can buy, this is the Stinger, right? This is the most compromised version, I'd say, because you got to realize it's got plenty of storage space. If you want to go golfing, you get a C8 Stingray, you got plenty of space to do that. You want to go to the drag strip, you can run it, no problem. You want to cruise with it, go everywhere, you can do that too. And then you can go to the racetrack. I get 36 mpg driving to the racetrack, like Willow Springs, and then I track it all day long, and then I drive it back home, 36 mpg all day long. And then the comfort cruise setting, it is just so relaxing. So it adapts so well to every sort of environment out there. And that's my takeaway most of all, I think, getting this car. It is probably the most versatile mid-engine car you can ever buy. Because on the street, it's so comfortable, it is so fuel efficient, and it is so easy to drive with that vehicle front end lift. The view, the visibility all around you is spot on. You have an HD rear view camera. You have plenty of cameras, so you can park it anywhere. And then it is just so well packed with tech. You have a wireless phone charger inside. You've got heated and cooled seats, a heated steering wheel, fully electronic controlled seats that can move in any way possible. Even the side lumbar supports can get pushed in or out. In the view, the visibility with it, it just feels so futuristic. But most of all, where you will fall in love with this car is on track. Because once you put it in race mode and that manual suspension stiffens up and you're in your competition bucket seats like I have in this car, it comes alive. And it is a car that you want to keep tracking day after day. And it doesn't just make you a better driver, but it makes you want to improve and learn more. So many people get in this car and they weren't driving like a mid-engine car. They weren't realizing that, hey, we have to distribute this weight properly. When we're going into a corner, don't just turn the wheel and just hammer it left or right like you're going through a canyon. No. You want to make sure you distribute that weight, and weight transfer is #1 in your mind, because getting into a corner, a threshold braking, or just brushing the brake, getting some weight over that front axle to give you the grip to rotate the vehicle, and then getting back on power, all that extra weight behind you, makes the car just feel at home. So you know what? That gets me to my main point of this video. It's coming. It's coming soon. And with that in mind, I'm not a car collector, right? So my main focus, my main passion deep down is I love maximizing the performance of every car I have. And the next Corvette, that is going to be where we're seeing this car step into a whole new realm. This car already pushed the boundaries. And the next one coming, you guys all know Chevrolet. You guys all know what they have up their sleeve, right? You guys all know how amazing the ZR1 is. You guys all know the performance of a Z06. And imagine infusing what Corvette racing is doing right now into this car, this platform right here to my left. What are we gonna see? This car is gonna be competing with the likes of my McLaren 600 LT. That's why I bought that car too, because I want to share with all of you how are the high performance variants of this Corvette, this platform, going to compare to the top dogs on the racetrack from across the ocean, right? From Italy, England, etc. We're going to be able to find out, because I've been tracking my McLaren so much lately. So I'm getting the next Corvette. It is going to be so exciting to compare that against what we're already so used to being so amazing from the supercar realm. You guys all know what I mean though, Z06. It's not been announced yet, right? But all the talks around that car, and I'm so excited about it. And I'll be honest with you, I can't afford a C8 Corvette, a McLaren, and another C8 Corvette, right? So I think it's time to start selling this guy right behind me so that we can get ourselves primed to strike ASAP on that new vehicle. And when I do get it, I am so excited to share what that car can do everywhere in all walks of performance, that being going to the drag strip and the track. I want to go to COTA everywhere across the US, and maybe even try to get out to like the Nürburgring, because that's a lifelong dream of mine, to go out there, and especially with an American car would make it all the more exciting. So if you are interested in getting a C8 Corvette that has been completely 1000% bulletproof, the paint has been completely revitalized by the amazing team at Elite Finish. It looks so good, the torch red. This car is a completely maxed out 2LT with the red matching brake calipers and also the more aggressive front arrow as well as the rear. So yes, I will be selling my C8 Corvette, but don't think C8 content is going anywhere. It is going to stay on the channel. I am so excited to share with all you guys what's coming next. And you know what, if you're interested in a 2LT C8 Corvette, this guy right here is up for sale. Make sure to reach out to me at thespeedphenom@gmail.com. We have the Z51 package that gives us the better brakes up front and back. It is a much more focused for the track and the road, so you do have the extra cooling with it, and then also the increased horsepower with that high performance exhaust, which in total gives us about 5 more horsepower than the normal outgoing C8 Corvette. It is a 495 horsepower versus a 490. Nonetheless, we do have the rare high wing spoiler that was super cool to actually order for the car. It was either you get this in black or red, and I think getting this wing in red to match the torch red exterior, it works so well, especially with the black accents or the dark metallic accents that hold up the wing, aka the arms. Here we go. As you guys can see, we have carbon fiber right there on the sides. So this car, I mean, in general, I love the spec we went with, which gets me very excited to see what kind of options we're gonna have on the high performance edition model. I don't know, should we go red again? You gotta let me know in the comment section down below. As you know, Targa top roof comes off, and then opening up the doors, we do have a completely matching, a two-tone interior that matches the torch red exterior and the competition sport bucket seats. And trust me, these things do feel very comfortable. You have suede inserts and also carbon fiber around the middle. It's cool because you have suede and then leather and then the red stitching with the red leather. So the entire thing looks very classy and also performance oriented, especially with that racing red 12 o'clock mark on the steering wheel and the rest of the red accents all throughout. And then you have this really nice textile edging right here for your side, so when you get in and out, it doesn't wear the seat actually. If you want to find out all the options this vehicle has, make sure to check out my National Corvette Museum delivery video, and it's like 30-something minutes long, and the individual at the museum shows us every inch of this car. So again, if you are interested, make sure to reach out to me at thespeedphenom@gmail.com. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button to help me out. Also subscribe for much more great content coming your way, especially with what's coming next with Chevrolet and all the other models coming out, because I do want to work my way up through each and every one. Anyways, though, please let me know in the comments down below, is this the right time to sell the C8 Corvette? Because it's coming, guys, it's coming. And the market is really good too right now. Anyways, I'll see all of you in the next episode.